2. Oh, well, it just looks like you got to record it because it won't let me do it. It said it's recording on your end.
Hold on. Let me see what I can do. All right.
I have to ask
Now
for
you
permission.
have allowance.
Okay. All right, I'm recording.
All right.
All righty, guys. Welcome to the very first episode of the Battleground of Bad Opinions podcast. It is your resident asshole, Andy, here, and the main man, the dictator we all lay it down to voluntarily, the most wholesome guy on the internet, Josh Waltrip.
What's up?
How you doing today, man?
I'm all right. Making it.
I think that's probably all of us right now.
Yeah. Some days you don't. Some days you do.
So, guys, we are going to kick it off with Joshy here had an idea. It's been a while, and the numbers worked out. We're going to do a tournament soon of the winners of the tournaments.
Right. So we're at a little bit over 128, but 128 makes out for a perfect poll. So we're going to do a tournament of champions. We're going to take the best of the best and pair them against each other. Now, it's not going to be as easy as, what's the best movie? And I know a lot of people are going to have questions because I'm an inarticulate person and they're just going to, but
hold on. Did you just say you're an inarticulate person? You realize you write us like a paragraph every post, and then the winner gets a whole diatribe that you fit every pun you possibly can into.
I'm good at puns. I'm not good at explanations. I would guess that the number of members that have asked me what exactly we're voting for is in the hundreds.
I would guess that is a very low ball guess, because I've seen, hey, are we doing like best performance or best movie at least 100 times?
And my answer is always that it's just vibes. It's just vibes. Vote how you feel.
See, that's been the best thing about the Battleground the whole time, from 100 of us in there to the 14,000 now. It's just whatever you feel like.
Exactly.
And I mean, you let the inmates run the asylum. As an ex-mod, I can tell you the mods don't do shit but make fun of each other in the fucking group. Like, unless you're speaking some just straight hate shit or just out there, you have always let us just have room to play.
Exactly. That's the best part. I think all my favorite posts is when somebody comes in and brazenly makes a terrible opinion and lays it down. That's always the best post, because I know they're going to get dragged and it's going to be enjoyable.
It's comedy. Like, TV can't write that shit. The way someone comes in and they're like, I have this opinion and I feel like this is the place that I am going to die on a hill. And then 200 people come in and lay the smackdown on them. And they're like, oh yeah, well, I'm still right. Fuck you.
Exactly.
It's like, bro, I know this is a place for bad opinions, but that was a bad opinion.
Yeah. You were the one that came up with the group name, and it's been perfect. It's been so apt to everything that the group has become. It's the perfect vibes for the group.
Dude, I want you to know that was literally the product of Andy had just a little too much whiskey that day and was feeling loquacious. And somehow Battleground of Bad Opinions rolled off my thumb tips onto that keyboard. And I knew from the second you posted the poll that all the other options were just they're filler. Right. Everyone's going to go with this one. And it worked out.
Yeah, it was a runaway. I don't even remember what the other options were. That'd be fun to go revisit.
I mean, you got the doc somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the poll we're doing. So it's not going to be, like you said, just as simple as, is this movie better than this movie? It's going to be was the decision that, to recent poll, Legally Blonde, the best Reese Witherspoon movie, better than the decision that whatever type of potato we called the best potato?
Oh no. I want it to be best of best. Which one do you think is better? Mashed potatoes or Legally Blonde?
I like that even better. Not even what was the best decision. What is better?
What is better? And it's got to be to parameters of the poll. So, for example, which one's better? Say It Ain't So by Weezer as a 90s song or Bohemian Rhapsody as a karaoke song? And you have to keep it within the parameters. Both of those were terrible winners, by the way. I don't know what happened.
Yes.
I think that was early pandemic. People had lost their minds, but I don't understand.
Dude, there have been some doozies over the last, 3 years now?
Yeah, it's closing in on 3 years, but
there have been some wild. I'm sure that there's tons I can't even remember. Hell, I can't remember half of them, but I just know there have been some times I've been like, you sons of bitches.
Yep. There have been times where we get to the final four and I'm like, okay, there are no good winners. There's nothing left. Because when the poll starts, I usually pick out a few and I'm like, okay, this one's probably going to win. What am I going to write if this one wins? And inevitably it's going to lose. And I've got to come up with something off the whim when I'm declaring whatever the winner.
How far you reach into the bag to find good things to say about some of our winners is like, you're a magician, dude.
Yeah, I think the only one that's really broke me where I was just like, I don't understand this, I have nothing to say, was probably Say It Ain't So by Weezer. Because that is Weezer's fourth or fifth best song at best. Fourth or fifth best song of the 90s. And Weezer isn't the best band of the 90s.
Oh, absolutely. But see, they had that MTV caught them a little bit in the 2000s, put a little stank on them, gave them that MTV Awards performance, and boom, they got renewed. We all remember it from 2004 or whenever it was. And here we are voting with nostalgia in 2020, 2022, whatever.
Yeah, that was an absolutely wild tournament.
Dude, I would love to look back if there was a way to just search like most inflammatory arguments from the group, because I guarantee 80% of them aren't even about things that anybody cares about on the normal day.
Oh, no.
Basis.
Oh,
it is quite
not.
literally, do you whip your potatoes to the left or right? And somebody has, it myself included, because I've put some paragraphs down in the damn group.
Yeah,
everybody has the fucking this long opinion, and we're all here to read all it. This group works because we're all messy, and it gives us those 200 comments that we want to scroll across with our friends list, but it's all in one concentrated area.
Do you remember when the flat earther showed up?
I think that was right before I left for a little while. And I was like off in my own, and I just happened to pop back in and was like, whoa, we had a fucking flat earther?
We had a flat earther. So there was a post, something about conspiracies, and I commented something like, I don't believe anybody actually believes this. I think people, they join flat earth because it's a way to find a group of people. And this dude was like, well, I don't know why you would believe that, and starts making points. And I've never been so blindsided by a comment in my life. And then end up arguing with the guy. And at one point I come back to the thread and I'm like, okay, what did he say? And I click the see 58 previous comments and I'm like, I need to walk away. This can't be healthy.
No, it's not healthy, because you were literally, and if you're a flat earther and you're listening to this, I'm sorry, you're a fucking moron. I'm not sorry
you're
for
incorrect.
calling you that.
You will not be invited on the podcast. This is not your chance. We are not looking at 58 more comments.
No, there's a certain point where 58 more comments is okay to go back and visit. It is not arguing with the flat earther. I would rather hear your opinion about Britney Spears Toxic and fight you for an hour than listen to 5 seconds of flat earth bullshit. Go out on a boat, you'll see the curve. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that was the argument. I mean, he was dead set too, and going back and forth. And then like 3 days later, he came in with something just as out there. And then I think he left finally, or he might still be there. He'll probably see this. And if you do, you're still wrong. The earth is round.
Absolutely. You are still just out of your goddamn gourd. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to all of our more clean listeners, that ain't gonna be this podcast. At least not on my end. Old family boy over there, he's a little cleaner than me, but we using fuck
Yeah.
like a comma over here. Oh shit, man. See, we're derailing already, but I think
Oh, yeah.
this is exactly how this
That's
needs
exactly
to go,
it.
because we're gonna go back and forth. And I know you said on most of the podcasts you watch are real structured. A lot of the ones that I watch are like derailed 3 seconds from the
Right.
beginning. And I think we're gonna find a nice middle ground. But I think most people, if they're gonna listen to me and you bullshit and whoever we bring on here, they want to hear a conversation. And,
Oh, yeah. I expect few people to make it to the end of the episodes.
oh, absolutely.
Very few.
But if you happen to do, let us know. Hit them comments into the pod gang. I'm gonna go ahead and do the YouTube thing. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe.
There it is.
Let us know what you
So,
want to hear. Go ahead,
yeah,
bud.
that'd be good. We're really down for advice. We're trying to figure this out as we go, but we could use some advice on what everybody wants to hear.
Full transparency. I got kind of drunk one night and I hit Josh up and was like, "Yo, there's 14,000 people in this bitch," and like podcast or a thing. Not that the internet needs two more white guys talking, because like, fuck, it's everywhere.
Yeah, this is
But
just white guys giving their opinions on everything. This is the worst of the worst.
Yeah, we mostly you, but we gave a platform to like lots of fucking Costa glasses, ball cap, beard that looks scragglier than mine, white dudes.
Yep.
But we figured, hey, y'all listen, or y'all at least read us argue on Facebook. Everybody drives, everybody got time to kill. Shit, come up with a podcast for you guys.
Yeah, it'll be fun to do.
Yeah,
and for me, like, I've spent a lot of time making some of these polls, and a lot of the stuff that I like read or opinions that I make on what belongs in, like, it doesn't ever get to the surface. So this is a chance for me to kind of vent on, what I see, what I think as I go.
Oh yeah, this has got to be like a great, almost not therapy, but therapy session for you, where it's like, hey, you can just bounce your opinions that are too long to type or didn't feel appropriate off of me, and I can tell you you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's the thing. I got to make sure that I don't give too many opinions, because people are going to realize the wrong person's in charge.
Yeah,
if they haven't already.
But you've done a real good job of holding that faux responsibility up for a long time now.
Yeah,
if I watch this guy wait tables, you would have no idea how this shit's still rolling.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people think that I need to be in charge of anything.
Hey man, I'll give it to you though. Not to spend the whole podcast jerking you off or anything, but like,
oh, I thought that's what this was.
I mean, mostly, but we'll get back to that in a minute. You've done a fucking good job with this. Like,
I appreciate it.
I have never seen a group of people on the internet unanimously decide that one person has not fucked up ever. And even when you do fuck up, everybody in the group just blames it on everybody but you.
It really is wild. It really is. I don't really know how it ended up like that, but I'm sure some people in the group that know me probably are just as perplexed as you.
I'll say this much though. As someone who's been like part of a YouTube community and now a Twitch community, like, it's really hard to get positive communities on the internet. There's always that one asshole that takes it too far, and then he brings 5 of his friends, and his 5 dickhead friends have 5 dickhead friends. And in 3 years, we've not had that.
Yeah,
like we've had some folks here and there, but we've never had like a massive, other than apparently the porn bots that I missed all out on the other day. But we've never had like a moment of like, hey, we got to get this shit under control.
Yeah. It's so the only reason I can imagine that it worked out that way is because when I started it, the only way you could get in the group is to be invited, or you could be approved, but I was approving so few because everyone got invited. So nobody was coming into the group not knowing somebody already. And like that little bit of accountability to the person that invited you helped out so much. I honestly believe the fact that it grew so organic and it wasn't just some like, hey, come join this random group where you don't have any accountability to anybody, really helped everybody to feel like they needed to
Yeah, because if
treat
you
people with
invite
respect.
me in, I don't want to make you look like an asshole for bringing me to
Exactly.
the party. And somehow that mentality has managed to stay all the way up to this tens of thousands of people.
Yeah. It's definitely something that feels like it's faded a little, but
I mean, that's
I,
gotta happen.
yeah, there's gonna be ebbs and flows. But if the right people start posting, if the right people start commenting, it usually the majority will win out and the assholes will go back home.
I mean, you can only yell into the void and get called an asshole so many times before you get tired of it.
That's true.
And we got a group of real strong people that will like stop what they are doing to call you an asshole.
Right.
Like it's amazing to me that not only have we grown so much, but like there's a core group of OGs. And, I'm not
Oh
gonna go
yeah.
through and name them all, but you know who I'm talking about. And
Oh yeah.
anybody that listens to this that's been around for a while, like they have stuck around and they have treated this like one of their daily activities and something to nurture and make sure it stayed a safe place for people to come in and spout whatever garbage fucking opinion they had and know that they're going to get roasted, but they're not going to be bullied or made fun
Right.
of.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah. It's
I'm quick to tell you to fuck off about your opinion, but I'm not going to like pick on you about something.
exactly. Yeah. It just feels really authentic. It feels like actual conversations. It's not as mean as a lot of people like to be on the internet, and it's not as fake as a lot of people like to be on the internet. It's just a real authentic conversation.
Yeah, it's the internet has a real bad habit of allowing people to just, they speak from their keyboard and they're not going to get
Mhm.
hit in the mouth for it. And nobody's going to call them on their shit other than a mean comment. And it feels like the battleground's like a real good place where it's not like that. It's always just been, hey, like we might sling some insults back and forth, but they're meant in good fun. And it's like we're sitting in a room at a party debating some shit off in the corner, not
Exactly. Yeah.
just flinging mud for the sense of flinging mud.
Yeah. Exactly. And there's a feeling that you don't want to lose the room. You don't want to be the one that everybody hates.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
And it also helps, and of course this gets out of hand sometimes too. And I've contributed to it myself, but like it's a place where you can just like post that funny meme that you saw,
yeah.
or I can ask the group for suggestions on books, or you can just come to the group for whatever. And as long as it's like halfway intelligent, you're not gonna get troll responses.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of people that are in the group don't even care about the polls at this point because the memes and the posts and the conversations are so vibrant and expansive. Like we're never just focused on one thing anymore. And that was good growth to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, growth on the internet on any platform is incredibly hard. And the fact that
Mhm.
it has grown the way that it has, and you have done literally nothing to try and make it grow.
Yeah.
Like groups get to this size all the time, but it's because somebody paid, 10 grand to get a signal boost on Facebook. Like, no, like you said, this was for the most part just this person got added by their friend, and then they added their friend, and then they added 5 friends. And
Yeah.
for it to grow like that, like this is not something that happens on the internet normally.
Right. And yeah, it started to grow pretty fast here lately. And a lot of the people don't understand how the group works, but it'll slow down and it'll catch and the people that are in the group will catch up or leave and we'll get back to the right vibes, hopefully.
Which I mean, that's like I seriously don't. There was what like 8 months, maybe a year I was gone, if that.
Yeah.
I'm sure some shit happened there that I don't know about, but I can't think of a time where the vibe was ever off. Now I can think of some times, where shit was a little dicey, some asshole was being an idiot or whatever, but I can't ever remember any time where I think somebody would be like, ugh, the battleground. Let me just scroll past that
Right.
post. It's bringing my day down.
Yeah. I definitely try to keep it from that. And occasionally I'll get a message from somebody that'll be like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know who these people are or why they're trying to ruin the way the group works, but usually it gets cleaned up pretty fast.
Yeah. Like, I can't remember a time I ever had to swing the band hammer as a mod. I'm sure I did. If anybody fucking did, I'm sure it was me. But I can't remember a time I ever did it. And I can't think of any time anybody else ever did it. I know you've had to do it a couple times.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I've gotten more quick to do because it's just, I've learned that it's not worth it. I've learned if you're on the fence about banning somebody, you're eventually going to have to ban them. Yeah. You're eventually going to have to, like,
so the guy that runs the company that I watch, and we'll not get into that, but you know who I'm talking about. It's a Twitch streamer, guys. Just say he's mildly successful. He learned a lesson that I learned from him that he learned a long time ago is it's okay to not pander to one person because you're scared that everybody else is going to, oh, well, he kicked him out. He'll kick me out. No, just kick the asshole out, move him on down the road, stop talking about him. Everybody will forget 10 seconds later.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it is okay to have a set of morals and standards and actually stand by them. And it's okay if you have to break one of your own rules every now and then to make sure that everybody is protected.
Right. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I think it's something that you have to be considerate, because at first I didn't want to ban. I didn't want to kick anybody out. I remember we had an issue where you were telling me to ban somebody and I was like, let's not do that yet. Let's see. And I think we ended up suspending him. And then the moment the suspension ended, he came back. And I was like, all right, well, he's gone.
Hey, give a mouse a cookie. But it is, I mean, that's why the group has worked so well, though, is that you're so understanding. You're so,
I try to be,
you were made for this. Maybe not, as a calling or whatever, but you were made, and me knowing you as a person, like, this is the type of activity in which you were going to flourish in.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. And it's really given me a lot more, the social aspect of things, especially as I've settled down as a dad. So,
yeah. Hey, that's, I think that's part of the reason I came back to the group, is I was starting to settle down and I wasn't doing all the wild things that I've always done. And it was like, damn, maybe I just want to argue with people over NSYNC albums on the internet again. So,
yeah, I definitely think that that's one of the things that a lot of people see in the group is, they're out of high school, they're out of college, they're either settled down or they've moved off to a new city where they don't really know anybody. And it doesn't replace, a socializing completely, but it does a good job because of how authentic everybody is. It does, better than, a random message board or whatever.
Yeah. I think, and we've said this a few times, we'll probably say it a few hundred more times over the course of however long this podcast runs, but the authenticity and realness of the Battleground is really what makes it great. And, it's going to be harder to preserve that as it continues to grow. And, I figure it will continue to grow for a while. I feel like our core group will always hold down. And anytime somebody comes in to mess up the vibe, there's always going to be a Whitney Nobles or a Taylor Fife or a fucking Tyler or a me to just be like, hey, shut the whole fuck up.
Yep.
And they'll either shut up or
see it.
900 other people are going to dogpile on them,
I hope so. But I think, I mean, the post I posted yesterday about the city names, it had over 400 comments. And that was the first time that I posted something and been like, I can't even keep up with the comments.
That is fucking wild, dude. This shit used to be 12 comments.
Yeah.
From 3
people. I remember the second tournament we did, which was Quentin Tarantino movies. The second round was Kill Bill versus maybe Django. I don't remember.
No, it wasn't Django, because I think I want to say it was Kill Bill and Django in the finals.
It was Django and Inglourious Basterds in the finals.
That's right. But I don't think Django took out Kill Bill.
Well, whichever one it was, the final vote was like 13-8.
Holy shit.
I was like, wow. Yeah. And now, our biggest poll to date had 500 votes.
And they were all wrong.
Every one of them.
Even the ones that were right, they were wrong too. Oh shit, man.
See, and when it first started, I was always like, okay, this group is too small. It's too much my people. We're not getting a good unbiased. That's why the opinions are so wrong. And then as it grew, it seems like it just snowballed worse and worse. And I was like, okay, this isn't it. That's not the problem.
As it grew, you realized the social experiment was finding out that People are smart. The general public is dumb as shit.
Yeah. The biggest like takeaway on like a social experiment level is that if you ask people to make a selection once, they might get it right. But if you ask people either or questions enough times, they're going to misstep enough times that it turns into pure chaos.
Oh, absolutely. And I do even better. And this has been like my thing from day one. You can sway an entire group of people to think how you think just by being the funniest fucking person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, no matter how hard I'm raging about a topic, I always take the time to try and make a comedic comment. And I know for a fact I have gotten people over to my side just
Right.
because I was funnier than the other person arguing the other side.
Oh yeah, I've switched votes based on comments. It's definitely, and that's the other part that helps is the comment section. It's like a, it gives you a chance to make your case. And I've definitely flopped my vote based on arguments I heard or opinions I heard or
Yeah, see,
funny
you don't get
jokes.
this luxury, but those of us that don't make the damn polls do. It's cool to come across a poll as soon as you post it because I get to be one of those first people to vote on it.
Mhm.
It is so much less pressure to come across one of them like 17 hours after you've posted it.
Yeah.
And there's 60 comments on it. Because then I can just read, see whoever thinks, what the popular opinion is and go, do I agree with that? Yeah, I guess I'll click that one. Especially when it's a
That makes sense.
Reese Witherspoon fucking poll, and I've watched
Right.
4 of these movies. So
I'd watched a lot more than I thought I had, but
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't pay attention to that one, and the only one I commented on was Sweet Home Alabama, and I'm still mad at you bastards for not picking Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama is it would be a strong contender in best rom-com, but Reese Witherspoon is to Legally Blonde what like few actresses are to a role.
I mean, I agree. That's like, Bruce Willis. He's always going to be John McClane. Like you
Exactly.
put him in 200 other movies, it's still John McClane.
Exactly. And
then that's her role there.
Yeah. It's going to be hard for people to get past voting for that based on that.
Oh,
and they're not wrong. It got
this
there.
tournament that we're starting this over is going to be the wildest shit ever for those same reasons. Because to go back to how we said, is it mashed potatoes are better, or is Legally Blonde better?
Exactly.
We're all going to do some soul searching and some argumenting.
I'm excited to see how that one goes because a lot of the times that we try one that's not as direct, just answer this question, a lot of people either check out or misunderstand it. And I'm excited to see if people can grasp onto this one, especially with it being touted as like a tournament of champions. I hope that gets people excited for it.
See,
I'm excited.
That's where it's on you, but since I'm part of this, I guess now me too to hype this one up to make sure people stay engaged with it. Throw in an extra comment here or there just to make sure it shows up on somebody's timeline.
Yeah. But
yeah, I got a question for you. How hard has it been for you, or have you even really tried to drive group interaction, or has it just been you just let it naturally come as it goes?
With a couple of polls, if I see the like participation dropping, I'll post a couple of memes throughout the week, or I'll comment on a few posts to try to get people interacting. I know when we did, I don't remember which poll it was. If we do one that I think is a little more niche, I'll tell people, make sure you invite friends that you think really care about this, because I'll know that there's not many people in the group that really care. And that'll help, a few new members, because new members are going to see the post. But other than that, there's really not much I can do beyond that.
No, I mean, you could pay to, have it signal boosted, but no, that would be dumb and a waste of money.
Yeah.
I wonder how the algorithm works for us. Because I know it had to work horribly for the After Dark group, which, by the way, sorry guys, that was fun. Then I let the inmates run the asylum, and y'all went places that I did not want that to go. So I put the fucking shutdown on that. That was purely me. Nobody made that choice but me. And to those of y'all in the regular group that had to deal with some of them bleed over posts that first couple weeks, that's not my fault. I'm not sorry.
Yeah, that tested it a little bit, but it cleaned itself up. That's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, but like I said, what I was getting at, like, I wonder how the algorithm works out for the group, because like it's not incessantly vulgar unless I'm on a post.
Mhm.
It's like there's no horrible memes, but there's so much interaction, and like you get so many. The impressions the group has to be like a fucking massive statistic.
Yeah, it's about 5,000 people a day that see the page,
Holy
and then
shit!
about 500 a day that comment or comment, post, or react, that actually interact.
That
That's
is
different people each day.
that is wild, dude. Like, I mean, I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook, mostly because like when the pandemic happened, all the servers lost our jobs, so
Everybody found their
we
little.
we all went to Facebook, made 500 groups, and went
Mhm.
wild for 2 weeks on Facebook Live. That'll be a story for on down the road on this. Well, like you don't see interaction, and I mean, though all those groups, they don't have 14,000 people in them, but they got 2, 3, 4, 5, and like 12 comments, 13
Yeah,
likes, and then I mean that's servers. And I'm sure a lot of the group knows that we're all very social people. If you can only get
yeah,
12
exactly.
comments and 13 likes from servers, then getting 50, that's, you can see the battleground is truly amazing to me. I cannot say this enough. I cannot suck this fucking group off enough. It
I
has
wish I
been,
could take full credit, but I don't know how it happened.
I mean, it's your idea, dude. Your idea. And for the first year, it was all you. I mean, you didn't make mods until
Yeah, it
year and
was
a
a little
half
after a
in.
year.
Still
Yeah.
don't know why the hell you thought it was a good idea to make me a mod, but okay.
Well, the biggest thing that having mods, it was accountability for me. And I don't know. I don't want to seem like I'm a dictator that runs things by myself. I like to be accountable to somebody, especially once we added rules and it was like, we've got to start, enforcing rules. I don't want to be the only person enforcing a rule. I know that I'm human and not going to be capable of doing that fairly. So
I don't know, man. If I had to think of like the two most wholesome, down to earth people that could handle the power, it's like you and Jack Black. Like if aliens landed tomorrow and were like, send us the two best representatives of your species, I'm like, send Jack Black and I know a redheaded dude. And like I feel like you, between the two of you, you would not get us conquered. And then like the next day, everybody would just be under your control. And life would be prosperous.
just, I don't know. I just tried. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's easy to like read and take your time and react to things and not overreact to the situations happening.
Fair enough.
So
I will say that does lend itself to why the conversation stays at least kind of level headed in the battleground. Like some of these conversations, if we did have them at a party in a room, people would
yeah.
overreact to feelings. But like when you're typing out a
Mhm.
paragraph, like halfway through, you go, wait, am I being a dickhead? Maybe I'm being a dickhead. Let me backspace a few times real quick. So it does lend itself to the kind of conversations that we have.
Yeah, you're right. It does help too. And I think the fact that we focus so hard on inconsequential things lets the conversations be more inconsequential.
Yeah, dude, I'm sure, and I know it has been for me. I'm sure it will be again, but I know for a fact that the battleground is some people's like, it's their release, because they get to be so passionate about shit that just does not matter,
Oh yeah.
so that they don't have to be so serious about things that do matter. And you can fuck it up if you're too uptight about it.
Right.
Yeah, I always said the
Yeah.
same thing about wrestling. It was, wrestling saved my life because I was an angry individual. Surprise,
Mhm.
surprise. But once I started wrestling, I didn't have to punch the dickhead at table 21 in the face, because there was somebody on Friday night that was going to let me punch them in the face. As long as I let them punch me back, I'm cool with that. And I think the battleground is that same way for a lot of people. It's like I could argue with this Karen at the mall,
Mhm.
or I can just go debate Josh about why mashed potatoes are better with garlic in them than they are with blah blah blah.
You're right. I do think that there's a need for people to be able to debate, discuss, like make their points. And I don't think people have enough of an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, dude, we
So,
all need therapists, but that shit's expensive.
right.
But
Yep.
arguing with a stranger on the internet, that's free
That's
too.
free.
And you offer a safe space to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty brand new. But all right.
Well,
I'm
man,
I'm
I
getting
think we've
uncomfortable.
yeah, I
Yeah, I'm
think
getting
we have
uncomfortable with the level of
stretched it.
praise.
I think we've stretched it. Well, guys, I'll go ahead and do the outro since I brought us into it. This has been episode 0. We're not going to call this number 1 because we're going to get feedback, and then once y'all tell us where we fucked up, we'll fix that, and that'll be episode number 1. But Josh, it's been hella good talking to you, and can't wait for this next tournament. Glad we hashed
Same
a little
at
bit
you.
of some format out here, and guys, y'all get out there and vote on these polls. Make this
Yeah,
man
for real.
validated.
Y'all let us know what you think we could do better. Do you want us to focus more on the polls, focus on topics? Like, I know this was just a general conversation and kind of an introduction, but we're really looking for hints, looking for tips, and eventually looking for guests. So, let us know what y'all think.
All right. Well, from the angriest midget in the group and our lovable dictator, this has been the Battleground of Bad Opinions podcast. We will see you guys next time.